Chiro Hustle. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession on the world's #1 chiropractic podcast. Before we dive into this powerful episode, please remember to subscribe to our channels and to give us a 5-star rating on iTunes to continue hustling. This episode is sponsored by Imaging Services, Chiro Health USA, Chiro Moguls, Pure Chiro Notes, Titronics, Sherman College of Chiropractic, New Patients in a Box, the Influencer Authority Podcast Training, Mango Voice, Life Chiropractic College West, and M-Sculpt. Let's hustle.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 499 of the Chiro Hustle podcast. I'm your producer, Luke Millette, and here's your host, James Chester.
So today we have the opportunity of interviewing Michael Tokash. And if you want to hear us discuss how amazing the chiropractic profession is, stay tuned. Welcome back. This is another episode of the Chiro Hustle podcast. Today I have Mike Tokash coming in from the greater Philadelphia area. Been with Imaging Services quite some time. They've done a great job. Check out his number on the screen there, 610-812-3079. Give Mike a text, give Mike a call if you guys have x-ray needs. Reach out to Mike Tokash. He's been a honorable supporter of Chiro Hustle for a long time now as a sponsor. We love him for that. We love the opportunity to bring him on for a show. Today is 499, big number in the podcast world. But before we get into this episode, I just want to let people know the big why. Why do we do what we do over here at Chiro Hustle? Number one, First Amendment. Freedom of speech is important, and that's what this show does. It gives everybody a voice. Second, family health freedom. We believe that that is essential. Medical freedom. That's a big part of chiropractic. Chiropractic is a standalone profession that checks, detects, and corrects vertebral subluxation. And then chiropractic philosophy. We do support BJ Palmer's Sacred Trust. If you don't know what that means, pause this right now. Go and search on your favorite search engine, BJ Palmer's last words. It's called the Sacred Trust. You're going to learn a whole lot more about chiropractic than you originally knew. And then we do believe in subluxation-based chiropractic. I know it's a big word, but it's important to the history of chiropractic and the future of chiropractic. And we also believe in innate intelligence and universal intelligence, that when man or woman, the physical gets adjusted, it connects them to man or woman, the spiritual. And with that being said, episode 499, welcome to the show, Mike Tokash.
Hey, thank you, Jimmy.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just catching up with an old friend today.
Yeah, we've been through a lot together. I think I originally met you up in the Berkshires.
Wow. Yeah, that's at least 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah.
It's cool, man. I've seen what you've been doing with Imaging Services for some time, and I know that because of our history together, you got into chiropractic because you're going in and changing processor fluid at chiropractic clinics, right?
Yeah, so I started in 1975, and my first service was the chiropractors, changing chemistry. Yeah, they were still hand dipping, so, but that was state of the art back then. Having film processors doing x-ray out of your office, you were a high-end chiropractor, right?
Yeah. Going back 14 years ago, I started working in chiropractic, and if anybody's ever worked in an x-ray room, they know this noise.
Yeah.
It's because that's what it does when you're in a processor dark room.
Well, you don't smell it anymore after a while, Jim.
Well, I know that there's been a lot of things going on in the digital world too. So you've been doing the x-ray panels. You've been doing the I don't know what you call it when you go in and you find like somebody's old system and you retrofit it.
Yeah.
What is that called?
So that's exactly what you just called it, Jim. It's a retrofit. So we could retrofit to any system. There's a lot of systems out there, single phase, 1980, 86. We retrofitted 7 years ago and they're still running strong.
That's cool. So if you're out there and you guys have a system set up that you're still in the dark room, reach out to Mike. The number's on the screen there once again. But you've also gone into more high-tech technology within the digital arena.
Oh, absolutely, Jim. So, I stuck with 2020 all these years. I knew it was a great product with Opal Rad. But then, Konica and Minolta came into play and they looked at it and they said, well, chiropractors going digital. They had no idea. So once they saw that, they said, let's put an effort into it. They got Dan Lyons on staff, Steve Thiel. What can we do? Painting analysis, you know, Nuka, anything you could think of in software. But now comes DDR. So it's X-ray in motion, right? Chiropractors have been looking at this for a long time. It's not fluoro, which is a great thing. Fluoro, high dose. Now it's pulse X-ray. It'll shoot frames, 16 frames per minute, and you're getting a full digital image in motion.
So you're getting these new systems out with the DDR, and people can see motion X-ray now,
Absolutely.
kind of like on a movie.
Yep.
What is that doing for practices? How are they able to and show that to their patients, and what's the
Well,
outcome?
that's basically all it is, Jim. You're showing it to your patients, right? Your patients are really seeing, because like my wife, she's on a care plan, right? You got to keep her coming to make her well, right? So that's showing her exactly her progress, what's happening to her. I just had a doctor on the phone, an hour ago, and he's like, Michael, the lawyers are going to love this. He needs it for court, right? Besides showing his patient, right?
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of cases out there where people don't understand that the tech actually makes you more money.
Right. Yep.
And having better quality imaging, having better quality tech, it is something to, add into your business and make it a stronger business. But I think that seeing is believing.
Right. Hey, Jim, you know what? It's not for everybody, right? But you should be doing X-ray in your office, holding your patient. I do not want to, I'm coming to you as the owner of a company. I'm coming to you as a salesperson for X-ray, and I'm coming to you as a patient, right? On the business side, I don't want to lose any business at all. Sending patients down the street, it's a pain. I'm telling you, coming from me as being a patient, chiropractors may not understand because they're going to see another chiropractor, right? But in my case, if I go see my chiropractor and he says, oh, Michael, you got to get down the street for some x-rays. Now I got to make another appointment. Jim, I'm so busy right now, I can't make another appointment. You know what? I'm not going to go there and I go see a different chiropractor, you know? So that lost revenue dollars, when you look at, now with a care plan, 3,900 hours, 3,600 hours, x-ray is just part of it, right? You are getting money. You're holding me as a patient, right? And that's what you want to do. You want to make me well. That's what the doctor wants to do.
Yeah, and I think the diagnosis of an X-ray film, the clearer it is, like you said, it helps in whether it's a court case that somebody's been injured, or it helps in just like explain to a mom that if she doesn't correct her son's or scoliosis, it's not going to get any better over time. And you can show that so clear that people start understanding why it's important to take care of their spines. So
Oh,
I've
absolutely.
always thought it was really important. Even some jurisdictions in Canada are under fire, being told that they can't take X-rays of patients anymore unless, I don't know. I don't even know what under what circumstances they're allowing that in a province up there. And I think that's a problem. It's like, why would you ever take your go to a dentist that wasn't going to take a proper analysis of what your teeth look like through an
Right.
X-ray? Or why would you ever take your car to somebody that didn't put it on the little computer system and test it and tell you what your codes are?
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
I
Yep.
think that when we think about it, we do have to really fight for the imaging profession to keep its position within chiropractic.
Yep. The changes over all these years, Jim. Remember, I started in 75, right? You know, chiropractors that were doing an x-ray, you can't get an image right away, right? You got to take your images, you got to go develop them. You hope they come out, and then you got to bring the patient back to your evaluation. Now, image up in 3 seconds, right?
Yeah. I mean, me working in an office for 6 years, I remember when we had to bring somebody in the next day for their ROF, and we had to do a spot shot on them because they moved during the cervical shot of their x-ray, and then we have to go reanalyze it again, and we have to
Yep.
go line draw on it with a grease pencil, and then we have to like read the levels of degeneration and actually report this to them. And it did slow down the process. So, but I used to love it,
Yeah.
pulling out that film, looking at it, and then going through, like you said, your wife's on a care plan, going
Yeah.
through the process of a care plan with somebody, and then reshooting an x-ray and showing them how they have actually progressed with their spinal health, progressed with restoring the curve to their neck, progressed with, fixing the hyperkyphosis in the thoracic spine. If we can show this to people, now it has a lot more like validation too, that to where they're saying, wow, I don't only
Yeah.
feel better, but look at this, guys. And then they go show that report, they go show that report, the side by side, to other people. Like, you want to get some new patients, like create some x-ray reports and show like pre and post x-ray, and people are they're going to show that stuff off because they're proud of it. They've been coming to you 2 to 3 times a week for the past 4 months.
Absolutely. And it's finding the right products, Jim. There's a lot of products out there, but Opal Rad 2020 is the one that works, and they're refining it every day with new software, to whatever the chiropractor needs. It's funny. Film and chemistry was always cheap, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's only one manufacturer left of chemistry in the United States, right? Their prices went up in the past 3 years 4 different times, right?
So as they say, it's a wash. You might as well go
It's a
digital.
wash for sure, and it's going up again. Labor prices went up. There's nobody manufacturing film processors anymore. Everybody's just band-aiding, keeping them going. When's the right time to purchase? Now.
Yesterday.
I mean, why wait till? What are you going to wait until the rates go up again? I don't see anything getting lower in prices. You're out there. Everything's up in price, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now's the time to buy. I'm still holding my prices from last year. It's not about me making $1 on every sale. It's about me learning from chiropractic. The chiropractors are now my salespeople. If I treat them right, then they're going to tell somebody else about me. And Jim, I sell 110 systems a year. I'm one of the biggest dealers. I'm a small little company in Philadelphia. Not no more, but we do the whole United States. My biggest sales right now are I got 3 going in Colorado. I got 5 in California. I got 4 in Texas. I found the best x-ray companies out there, because they're not all good companies, right? I found the best ones to do my installs to represent me. So when you're getting installed and you're out of my area, you got the best x-ray company out there.
That's great, man. And I think I have watched you progress and seen how you built relationships with not only the chiropractic profession and the groups, but also the service handlers during the whole process. And I was commenting to you before we jumped on today, and I was talking to you about like integrity and people reaching out to you, that you're not, like you said, it's not always about the dollar. It's sometimes just about giving somebody good advice to where they can make an informed decision. Like, what can I turn this old x-ray into a new x-ray with a panel? Yes. Yeah. Can I build out a room in my new office? And can you help me with that? Yes. Can I get new software updates to an existing system? I don't know, but probably yes. Like, there's all those things that people probably have questions for. So I love that you're always available. So if people do want to like stay connected with you, I know I usually ask this at the end of the interview, but what's best for people to reach out? I know your phone number's on the screen there.
Jim, that's it. It's my phone number, 610-812-3079. Call me.
You've made it to Chiro Hustle. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession on the world's #1 chiropractic podcast. This episode is sponsored by Imaging Services, Chiro Health USA, Chiro Moguls, Pure Chiro Notes, Titronics, Sherman College of Chiropractic, New Patients in a Box, the Influencer Authority Podcast Training, Mango Voice, Life Chiropractic College West, and M-Sculpt. Let's hustle.
All I do when I get on the phone with you, I'm your advisor. I'm free, no charge. Okay. I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you all the facts, all the information for you to make a decision, Jim. It's your dream. I'm just here for the ride. I just want to get on the journey with you and make it a great experience. And that's what I've been doing. I just love chiropractic. I'm going to tell you a great story. So my wife, who came from radiology, doesn't believe in chiropractic care, right? And she blew out L4 and L5. And she says to me, I'm going to go get surgery done. I said, by who? I'm like, it's in shock. I'm out of the loop, right? So she says, oh, the orthopedic surgeon. I said, what's he saying on recovery? She said, about 40%. I said, look, you know what I do. Please go see a chiropractor. I'm going to give you a name. Just go, have a consultation. And Jim, it's really funny. So she comes home. She says, oh, my God. She says he wants to see me for 9 months, right? And he wants 3,600 hours for a care plan. I said, so what's wrong with that? It's a big thing. You blew it L4 and L5. It's not recovery in one day. So she says, well, it's the dollars. I said, do you know our insurance is $10,000 out of pocket? So take the dollars out of it. I said, here, I'll be happy if you do this. I'll support you 100%. Go see the chiropractor. A couple visits. If you're not happy with that and you want to go get surgery, then go get surgery. I'll support you 100%. Jim, it's really funny. So 90 days go by, right? I saw the check was written out, a checkbook, right? And she's not saying nothing. So we're sitting there at dinner one night and she says, you never asked me about the chiropractor. Just like this, I said, I didn't need to. She said, why not? And I said, because a minute ago you were nice and pleasant. And I think you had more energy and I could see positive things happening. She said, well, I don't understand these other things that are happening. My feet don't hurt me anymore. My headaches went away. I said, it's chiropractic care. I said, I've been telling you for years. I go to conferences. I love conferences. I love just to go to conference, get adjusted by different chiropractor because there's different techniques. And, so that the end of the story is all of a sudden I could hear her holler in the other room the next day. My son came in. I'm like, man, what's going on now? I go walking in there. My granddaughters are there, 7, 8 years old. And my wife's like, you better go see the chiropractor now and take them girls. So it's like, that is so rewarding, Jim, because I just love chiropractic care. The other thing about chiropractic, Barbara Eaton, Daniel Bay, you got these mentors out there that are taking you to the next level. Follow them. I took my business 1 million to 5 million in 3.5 years because of these leaders of chiropractic. I'm a business. I relate myself to chiropractic, and there's no way you should be failing in chiropractic. You got a whole medical industry out there behind you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know this, Jim. You go to orthopedic, you got these other medical doctors do not do nothing for each other.
Well, I also
became a family.
Yeah, I also feel like when people go to like mainstream medical system,
Yeah,
it's just a weird experience.
it is.
Like that it's not personable and it's very like distant, and you don't get that with the chiropractic profession. You get a hands-on exam, you get some x-rays, you get consultation time, you get time with the doctor that's really interested in all aspects of your life.
Oh, absolutely.
The way that you take care of yourself, the way that you are, capable of doing stuff. Obviously, chiropractors help with a lot of people their first like inclination to go see a chiropractor because they have a headache, their feet hurt, something's going on, they have a neck pain or back pain, and then they go in and the doc gives them that consultation like you do for your clients. Like, let me see what's going on. Yeah. I'll tell you if there's any concern. I'll tell you how much concern there is if I find some, and then I'll tell you if I can help you. And then that is the relationship business. And that's why I think chiropractors do so well, not only with, like you said, the influencers in the profession do well helping more people, but the people actually out there that are like at the benches adjusting people, they do really well because they're actually paying attention to people.
Oh,
And then what
absolutely.
happens is they get through to somebody like your wife, the woman of the family, and
Yeah.
now the woman is the influencer of that whole unit, and now she's saying to the grandkids and to the kids, go see the chiropractor.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I was always told one patient at a time, right?
Mhm.
And that's the way it is, one patient at a time. But when you get that one patient, it's just like when I sell a system and I do really good with the chiropractor and he's really happy, then he's telling other people about me, right? Other doctors. So same thing with the patient flow, right?
Yeah, I know I was asking you off camera, like some of the events that are coming up for you. So people, if they wanted to come find you, where they might be able to get in touch with you at a conference.
Yeah, Jim, I created an X-ray company different than any other company out there. You know, I come from a line of contractors, so I help you with your build out. I talk to your electrician. Once that starts that process, then I'm all in. They don't even bother you until the time we come in, install and train you, right? So, you know, all them aspects, it's only one phone call away, right? So once I started with my conferences, I started in Pennsylvania, then I went up to Massachusetts. You know, now I'm in Maine. You know, Connecticut. I got two conferences come up in Connecticut. You know, then I became part of Dynamic Essentials, exclusive, right? Couple conferences there a year. Then Mile High. I sent you out to Mile High, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I can't make it out there, I'm sending the best people I could find to represent us, right? So there's a lot of conferences that Florida. I'll be going there. Remarkable Practice, another big one, exclusive to them. So I kind of got the exclusivity because the leaders of chiropractic looked at me personally and said, "Well, this guy believes in us, and this guy's going to come through, and we don't have to worry about any repercussions of anything else." Right?
Yeah, and the thing I kind of wanted to touch on is you always give back too.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
I
like
give that.
like like in
Yeah.
any conference that you're working with, any group that you're working with, any organization that you're working with, you always support the people that are supporting you.
Yeah. Because I want to give back. I want that organization to thrive, right? So, like DE, the next DE meeting, Hans is going to go to that one. He's going to hand them a $1,500 check. I'm going to Connecticut, the council up there. They're giving me all their. Everybody attends their conferences, buy from me, so I give back. I'm going up there with a $3,000 check. The last conference was a $5,000 check. It's not a payoff. It's something to say, here's some money back. Thank you, for choosing me. But I want you to grow. I want you to get bigger. I need you to fight the government, and get chiropractic out there where it belongs, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think that that's a really good initiative. Um, so do you guys have anything going on, promos, any specials going on into the next quarter?
Yeah, what I did, so manufacturers, as everybody has, increased pricing. I'm still at the same pricing I was last year. And what I wanted to throw out there, anybody watching this video, if they call me and say they saw me on Chiro Hustle, I'm going to throw back another $1,000 discount. And plus, there's a rebate going on for $1,000. Jim, there's no reason why you stay with film when you can be digital at the same price. It's going to speed your practice up, give you more credibility. You're going to see a lot more in the images. You can do so many different line drawings. I mean, I just don't understand it. But, hey, you're still doing processing. I still do chemistry. But, I have one guy left when we had five guys, right? So it's all going digital. And on the DDR, the full motion, there's a big special on that because, Jim, that's really the product. But it's for some chiropractors, right? We're looking at a C arm or a DMX at 100 and some $1,000. This is priced less under 100. So they came through, but not everybody can afford that. But you know what? A digital panel showing me a real good X-ray is still tops in the field, right?
Yeah. So 20 years from now, thinking about the profession? Where do you see the profession going, and where are you inside the profession?
Well, I'm still alive. I'm 67 right now. So 87. Maybe in a wheelchair, maybe have a crutch, whatever. But I just think chiropractic is taking such big steps. By that time, well, it should be blowing everything out. You would think right now people would want to go see a chiropractor. With all the things going on with the pandemic and lies and things going on, nobody knows what the truth is, but chiropractic is the truth.
Yeah, and that's why, the show that we've been putting on for the past 5.5 years, doing these interviews the way that we do is to preserve the truth of chiropractic and
Yeah,
preserve the message of chiropractic, to where if anybody ever needed a resource to like get re-inspired as to what the profession is doing, they can come in and listen about marketing. They can
yeah,
come in and listen about the tech. They can come in and listen to somebody that may have passed on. Unfortunately, that happens. And, I think that that's the brilliant part about what we've both done is we stuck with something.
yeah,
We found a necessity within inside of chiropractic, and we are advocates and we are supporters. And I think that when you bring guys like us together that have a lot of love for something that is the truth and the medical world,
yeah,
unfortunately chiropractic is lumped into the medical world, but it is a standalone profession that's a healing art. And a lot of times people don't understand that. They're like, oh, like your wife, I don't
yeah.
believe in chiropractic.
Nope.
When I speak at conferences now, Mike, it's hilarious. I tell people chiropractic isn't a belief system. The Easter Bunny and Santa Claus is a belief system. I tell them that chiropractic is a healing art. Like there's a big difference in between a belief and an art of healing. And I think that a lot of times when people think about belief system, like, oh, I don't believe in that. Well, you don't
Yeah,
have to believe in it. Like Sid Williams, the guy that founded Dynamic Essentials, he would always drop keys
yeah,
at his assemblies that he would. I don't know how frequently he held them, but he was the guy that started Life University down in Marietta. But he would have this assembly, and he would always go in front of there and drop these keys, and it was like a known thing. Sid Williams did this, but he would say, you don't have to believe in chiropractic. It's just like gravity. It works whether you believe it or
it
not.
works. It
And,
definitely works.
and it gets people better faster.
Yeah,
And people don't have to get hacked on, or they don't have to get on the pill mill. Like they don't like waste their life. They actually have a better quality of life. They actually have a better return on their later years in life. They're not, sedentary and broke down and in pain and sore. Like they're out doing stuff that they like. And when they go to that retirement age, they're not retiring to complacency and sedentary lifestyle. They're retiring into quality of life with, more years ahead of them that they're going to enjoy.
yeah. Hey, and I think I'm adding something to their life also. Let me grab something for 1 second.
Sure. Mike's always on the move. 610-812-3079. Give him a text right now.
So Jim, here's an X-ray, right?
Yeah.
Right, poor quality. You know, this. I was at a conference in Connecticut, and a doctor walked up to me. He says, "Michael, you added 10 years of my life." I said, "Doc, how'd
Amen.
I do that? I love it, but how do I do that?" He said, "I would put my film in, you know, and then the film would be coming out. He'd be saying, 'Oh, baby, come on, come on, come on,' and then he'd be like, 'Shit, shit,' because then he had to bring me back and take another X-ray, right?"
Uh-huh.
So he said, "Michael," he says, "my life is easier right now with digital X-ray because now, bang, 3 seconds, image up. I don't even take another X-ray. I know what's going on. I throw them right on the adjusting table, so he kind of locks them right in, right then and there, you know. So I mean, that's just a great thing. I'm so glad I picked this profession. Yeah, I could have been a carpenter. I could have been other things, but this profession is just rewarding, and I see how it's progressing, and it's just amazing, Jim.
Yeah, there's an old saying that chiropractic gives you years to your life and life to your years.
Yeah,
And I think that chiropractic is rewarding and it is important. And it is something that we generationally need to pass down. Um, so we're at the last couple minutes of the interview today. Is there anything I didn't ask you that you'd like to talk about with our audience today?
Well, all I would like to really say is just call me, just have a conversation, right? There's no obligations. Jim, there's been a few times I said to these doctors, look, that looks like a great deal to me. Go ahead and buy it. They want to buy some used equipment, but send me pics of it. It's a 1979 room. Even a 2000 room seems like it's pretty new. Jim is 23 years old,
I
right?
know. I know.
Lifespan of X-ray is only 25.
I can't believe when I meet a kid and they're born in 2000, like 2000
right.
something.
And I kind of relate to what you're doing because I'm the business end too. So on backups and anything else you can do, a pack system where you're sending your images. I'm just here. I have the knowledge. Get the knowledge from me. If you work with me, great. If you decide to go somewhere else, that's great too. I just know I helped you. That's all I want to do.
Well, Mike, you're a phenomenal advocate for the chiropractic profession. I appreciate you jumping on with me. It's really cool to hear that your wife is getting some good care.
Oh,
and
absolutely. Yeah.
It's nice to hear that you're supporting, giving back, the profession supporting you, and you're in it for the long term. So you're right. Chiropractic is an amazing profession, and I appreciate you being on with us today at episode 499.
Yeah. Great number. I think I sold 409. Jim, I sell 110 panels a year. So, that's just probably about a quarter of what is sold in the United States, right? And there's a reason for that. Like you said, I'm just here. I'm an advocate. Please just call me. Great to see you again.
Always.
So I'm just here.
Well, once again, guys, it's 610-812-3079. Shoot Mike a text, shoot Mike a call, and let's see if we can be your digital solutions team with X-ray in your office. So with that being said, I'm going to close out by telling you all, you're just one story away. Keep hustling. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for listening to Chiro Hustle. Don't forget to subscribe and check back next week to continue hustling.